Welcome to the English studio.
Welcome to Indie Studio Pod. My name is Britt, I'm your host, and today we have a little bit of a legend joining us, dare I say. It is the Megan O'Brien, aka Bee-Bee Riot.
Yippee! I'm the legend. Thank you for saying that, though. That's nice.
Are you kidding me? I think we're going to see very shortly exactly how much of a legend you are.
Thank you.
So we have some listeners and viewers who probably aren't yet familiar with you. Why don't you give us a little introduction to Megan O'Brien?
All right, so I'm a musician in Brisbane, but I originally come from New South Wales. I used to be a busker since I was in high school. But I've just done a bunch of shit the past couple of years since I moved to Brizzy. I went to uni at USQ now.
UniSQ.
And yeah, me and Britt actually we went to uni together.
We go way back.
Yeah, it's cool. It's kind of rare that you have like a fucking podcast now. Sorry. Am I allowed to swear?
That's fine. Go for it. There's no parental guidance, just recommended for this one, but
yeah, it's explicit on the website.
We want the true Bee-Bee Riot experience.
Yeah, I think I do a lot of comedy at like drag shows. I've kind of become. The other day I was. I think I'm recognized now, which is pretty cool. I went to a show and someone was like, "Bee-Bee Riot." And I was like, it's me, hello, which is really cute. But I did a bunch of alt performances last year, and I did one this year just before, for Alt Smack Showdown, if you've heard of that. So that was pretty fun. It's not a paid gig or anything, but it was like a competition. You could win a lot of money, and a free Japan trip. So I was like, I'll definitely go to that. Didn't get through, but it was fun. Anyway, busking and then uni. And then now in Brisbane, and I just do anything that people pay me for. So, and stuff that people don't pay me for, but I prefer the ones that pay me.
Yes.
I'd be saying yes.
Yeah.
Well, because you just gotta keep on doing shit until something happens.
Building a platform. I mean, you must be heading in the right direction if you've having people coming to your shows and saying, Bee-Bee Riot?
Yeah, I think it's because also some of the venues that I go to, I think a lot of people...
Yeah.
That are in that scene kind of
frequent those. Yeah. Have you found that like establishing yourself as a regular in certain venues has been beneficial for you? Yeah.
I think if you do certain shows again and again, or like with the same people, like I guess Alt is one, they've hired me for a couple things. And then I've done shows like for free for them as well. I think people get to know you. You start becoming like a person in the scene, which I never thought I would be someone in the scene. And, since I've left uni, I've kind of really embraced my gayness a bit more. So that helps that I already have like a community to go to.
Was that something that you were able to embrace because you found this community?
I think I've always embraced my bisexuality, but like in my music, not really. So having the platforms that they've provided is great because then it gives me like more creative juices to write more songs about that stuff. And but it's mostly just having someone to listen to it that also can be like, oh, I fucking find that so funny. And usually it's gay people, so like the queer community, it's pretty cool.
Well, I want to kind of step back in time a little bit.
Sorry.
We're gonna loop back around to kind of the old
I'm
Brisbane.
bad at podcasts.
No. This is great. But you've kind of been a musician for your whole life. Mm-hmm. You were doing music in high school and busking and that kind of thing. The X Factor.
Oh my God, yes! Oh God. That's something we both share in common, actually. We've both been on big Australian TV shows.
Reality singing competitions.
Yeah, we've talked about how I don't think it's very good. No, I think I'd go on The Voice.
Well, why don't we like, you talk about what the experience of going onto the X Factor looked like.
I went on season 8. That was 2016. It was the one with Stan Walker, Adam Lambert, and Iggy Azalea. And I was 16 at the time. So it was like a lot. I auditioned in Port Macquarie. That was the closest place the audition was there, and I prepared, I had my ukulele, and I prepared Hey Soul Sister as my audition.
Uke classic.
And if you didn't know, it's actually not like live, the auditions. They pre-select you for the live auditions. So
did you have to send in like an online audition, or was it a rock up?
it was a rock up, sign up that day sort of situation. I think.
How many people were there?
Oh, there was a shit ton.
Hundreds.
Yeah, I think a lot of Port Macquarie, closest to my hometown of Kempsey, was like, Port Macquarie was the place to be if you were an artist in like rural New South Wales. So people were just like, a bunch of like indie bands and stuff were there and trying to like do something. And I remember when I got in, because I got through, I once was in Port Macquarie just walking around, and some of the people I saw were like, oh, you were there. Have you got your email yet? Because we haven't. And I was like, I don't want to tell you that, yeah, I did get, because I feel bad now. So that was something that I was like, no, I haven't got my email. But I was actually like, I had my plane ticket to go and do the live auditions. But yeah, they asked me to submit, after I got through. They asked me to submit 21 songs, and they got to choose what song I did for the live. Oh, wait, no. Scratch that. Oh, wait, no. Unscratch that. Wiki. Literally, they asked me 21 songs, and then they decided that, hey, can you sing Hey Soul Sister again for your live audition? And I was on my ukulele, because, I mean, that was my busking instrument at the time, and still is. I love the ukulele. But yeah, I remember going up stage and being so nervous. I was shaking. I was wearing, God, I was like, my angle would be like, I'm a nerd. So like a Marvel shirt, and like, it was so cringe. But, you know, whatever. You know, cringe is dead. But I went on and I did Hey Soul Sister, and then I remember Adam Lambert was like, so what's your style? Or what do you like? And I'm like, I don't know, I always wanted to please him. So and I also still agree with this, but I just have every style. So I was like, oh, anything. Musical theatre I love. At the time I really loved musical theatre. Rock and roll, like pop, anything. And he's like, you need to pick a lane. And I was like, Adam, you need to pick a lane, bitch. Have you seen your discography?
Yeah, what a strange kind of sentiment.
But the thing is, I think they were told to do that. Like, I don't think that any of those artists were particularly truthful. Maybe, I don't know, Stan Walker was like, you're amazing. And I like to believe that that's true. But from after that, I don't know what's true.
I mean, it's a television
show.
So.
They've got earpieces. They've got like a bio of me and how likely I am to be like a hit from the interview that I had. Because later there's a little interview and then there's a big interview. So I got through the first round. It was up from Sam Walker, down from Adam Lambert, because I feel like he was just after me. And then Iggy was like, didn't say a single thing and was like, down. Up, sorry. She was sorry, my brain stopped working. And the crowd was like, whoa, it's because the crowd was really into me. And I think that was what helped. Because Iggy was going to be, I think in most situations, she's the one that is the decider, because they had like the two boys had like a rivalry or some, like he's a nice cop, bad cop sort of energy. And then, I went back to the hotel. They gave you really nice hotels actually in X Factor. I can't remember what hotel I was staying in, but it was like hot chocolate downstairs on tap. And me and mum were like, whoa, because we're fucking poor.
And that was in Sydney.
That was in Sydney. It was at the, there's a big Sydney Olympic Stadium. And then Olympic I got taken home, got flown back probably like a month later. And then we did a bunch of ads. So it was a whole week of ads for like Toyota or some car, and it was like a long 10-hour days of just like I remember being like so hot and sweaty in this big hall, and in would drive all of the people, like, Iggy Azalea and all that. They'd drive in, get out, wave, the cameras, we'd get a big of us going, yay! They'd get back in the car, drive back, and then do the same thing like 10 times. And I was like, by the end of it, I was like, I don't know how much I can act. I don't know how much I can yell and scream for Iggy Azalea anymore. But in that crowd, I did find someone, I can't remember his name, it was so long ago, someone from Port Macquarie, which was pretty cool. We were just standing next to each other, and he's like, wait, do I know you? And I was like, no. And he was like, are you from Port Macquarie? And I was like, I auditioned at Port Macquarie. So he just remembered me from the audition. So that was kind of cool. That was kind of neat. But yeah, a lot of recording of ads. And then it was revealed on that day that the under 21s were with Adam Lambert. So I knew that I wasn't going to get through to the next round, because the next culling was off camera, and it was all of us lined up with Adam Lambert, and he would come over and he'd walk up and he'd be like, all right, sing. And he'd just stand there and watch you. And the thing is, I also had to submit another 21 songs, didn't I? And then they chose what song. And guess what song they chose out of my 21 songs? I didn't know that many songs at the time. Poor Unfortunate Souls from The Little Mermaid.
It's a musical theatre.
So they were like, we don't want you to be musical theatre. They already knew that that would be the one. And I think I killed it. I was like, I was getting my all. But no, he was like, yeah. He walked, because he didn't say it. He's like, and then would walk to the next person and get them to do the exact same thing. And then I remember seeing Adam Lambert doing some like, what is it? Overview of like him looking at our faces.
Like the photos?
Yeah, the photos, like kind of moving them around like he's choosing. And then a producer coming over, giving him a pile of people that he's already chosen. And then putting them in front of him like he just chose out of all those faces. And I was like, this is fake. It's fake. He didn't actually pick those people from today's little saunter of music. So I think as a kid, that felt better. As a 16-year-old, like, I was like, oh, well, at least I'm not bad and it's all produced. Or maybe I am bad, but I don't want to think about it. Because there were some really good singers and they didn't get through either. So I felt pretty good. That being said, on the live audition, there was a guy right in front of me, and he was like I'd say like a 45-year-old man, and he was lovely, but he definitely was nervous, and he's never performed in front of people before. That was his whole story. And yeah, I heard the judges be like, keep your day job, this isn't for you. And he was devastated, and he left, I went on. I had my whole spiel. And then I was in the green room waiting to be interviewed, because if you got through, you had a little, like, you jump in front of a green screen and look cute for the fucking promos. And he was just devastated, sitting on the couch, like, crying. And his mum was like, why would they do this? Why would they do this? Why would they make him come here? And I was like, God, this sucks. But, I was 16 and I wanted to be there. I don't know if they're better than that now. I don't know if that's similar to The Voice at all. But, yeah, X Factor isn't my favourite. And there's a reason people don't like X Factors, because it gives, if that's happening backstage, you can feel that energy on stage. But that was 2017. So it's, maybe things have, I don't know.
Yeah.
I personally think it taught me a lot about TV. I talked to some people backstage as well because my mum had to be off certain areas, and there was like a lot of crew around, and I'd be like, yeah, so how'd you get this job? And they'd be like, yeah, just been doing audio stuff, and this was so lovely. All the crew was so lovely, but yeah, it was definitely like all the people that were on camera were very fake. It felt extremely not my vibe. Oh well, I figured out my vibe now, but as a kid I was still figuring it out too.
It's really hard to know at 16 or 17.
Yeah.
Like, you just don't know.
Nah, especially like finding
yourself.
what you're best at singing too. Like I was doing Riptide because I had a ukulele, and that was what you played when you
pull
had
up
it.
Ultimate Guitar tabs.
Yeah,
and,
you pull up top 10 and you have like Skinny Love.
Somewhere Over the Rainbow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. And then my pop would always be like, Tiny Tim, you got to play some Tiny Tim. Through the tulips. And I was like, oh my goodness. But I remember every time he picked me up from busking, he'd be like, gotta sing Tiny Tim. And I'd always sing a little Tiny Tim song before he picked me up, and he'd send me and go home and count all my coins. But anyway, yeah, X Factor was weird. I don't know if I'd do it again. Maybe.
Do you think that it kind of shaped your attitude towards performing and whatnot as you moved past that experience?
Maybe. I think I've become bitter, a little bit bitter from that experience. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so, though, for my writing style or anything. I think it's shaped me for, like, people in the industry. But the thing is, people backstage were so lovely. So it was a good experience to have. I think if I hadn't done it, I think I would be less confident moving out and busking and being on stage.
It instilled like a degree of independence.
Yeah, because there was moments of like my mum wasn't there. So that was the first time I was talking to artists around me. And like a lot of chatting with like people backstage too. Like, I can't say that I remember any of them, but
yeah,
it feels a bit like,
it's a long time ago.
Feels like in the moment it was like, oh, we're all part of something bigger. We're all cool artists and I'm here too, but they kind of make you feel that way too. Like they want you to feel that. So when you do lose or you do something that gets you kicked out, you have a big reaction. I remember when I got in for the live auditions, I walked off stage and the guy was like, so how do you feel? And I was genuinely like overwhelmed with emotions. I was like, oh, fine. And I just cried into my mum's arms. Even though I got through, I was just so like overwhelmed as like, I don't know if like even adults can handle that amount of stress and pressure. No wonder people freak out on like like best freakouts X Factor stuff, like because it's scary.
The environment definitely lends to heightened emotional experiences. I remember doing an interview, just a normal interview when I did The Voice. And I just started crying too. They were just asking about normal things.
Yeah, normal things. I was just crying because it was...
the producers were like, oh, like what's making you cry? And I was like, I don't know.
You are talking to me too intensely right now.
Too much is happening.
It's too intense. It's so even... I've got a camera and a big lights in front of you. Like, I don't know how good that is for a 16, 15-year-old.
No, it's very it's not a very organic environment to be in.
It definitely led me on my journey discovering I do have an anxiety disorder. But
discovering, or was that the catalyst?
Knowing. Always been there, baby.
Yeah, well, I guess like your experience, you didn't go all the way into the live shows or anything like that. Maybe for the better.
Yeah. I think, I don't know I think you've talked to me about this, but the deal isn't very good.
Oh, it's highly restrictive. If it's anything like The Voice. Like, you always wonder when people leave the show, like, you know, in like the earlier rounds or even in the earlier lives, like, why aren't they capitalizing off of this television opportunity they've had? Because you're contracted.
Yeah. You have a specific amount of like things you can do, and then you can't do certain other things.
And it's like you can't perform anywhere. You can't post anything.
Even for your one, you were telling me that you got out eventually, and then you couldn't perform with your band.
No, we were going to do a live stream for charity, and the producers shut it down. And I also did a private function, which was like...
They shut that down too?
I just did it, but I posted about it after. And they were like, you didn't pre-approve this. And I was like, it was a private function.
Yeah.
It wasn't ticketed. It wasn't open to the public.
That's crazy to
and
me.
It was,
because what is it? Especially for young independents, like, what are you supposed to do? Go, like... And not make money anymore? What if it's your living?
You know, there's that whole thing about the second place winner is always the best off.
Yeah, because they don't have... Yeah.
They've been on the show the whole way through, so they've maintained, like, their public presence.
Yeah.
They're not locked into the winner contract, which is also rubbish.
So you just, like, blow it at the end?
Yeah, blow it at the end.
That's real. I remember one season, I don't know if it was X Factor or The Voice, there was Matt and... I forget their names. Matt and Ryan? No. But there was this duo, like a husband and wife duo, that didn't win, but they were really good. And my mum was like obsessed with them, and I don't even know who won. I know the people that came second. Yeah. So, they killed it. They did really good covers of classic songs.
It's interesting though, because we don't see much like long-term success from
not anymore, at least.
People on these shows.
I think you just get on TikTok and you probably get just as famous.
I think it's just the way that people consume music and find
Yeah.
new talent has evolved so far from that.
Yeah.
And we're at the point now where people don't need big corporations backing them
Yeah.
to find careers.
Not at all.
You can be fully independent in your bedroom.
Yeah. You
In the
learn
middle
how
of
to
nowhere, yeah.
literally I use GarageBand.
Yeah.
You're good. You can make it work. You can make anything work. But it's about like, doing it as well, because you can have lots of ideas, but you have to put them down. And that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
I find it. So I struggle with it. Like I've got so many half-finished projects that I could just release. I could just like export them now, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think that
I get nervous, and especially when you produce your own stuff, like
Yeah.
you go, oh, it still needs fixing, or
it
like
will never be
it'll never be
finished.
finished. Yeah,
I think that's where the benefit of collaborating comes in.
yeah. I would love to do more collaborations with people. But speaking of collaborations,
Hey. Why don't we shuffle forward in the timeline of Megan, and now we're at USQ. Mm-hmm. What spurred you into choosing to study music?
well, I did theatre at the start.
Yeah. We
I was-
auditioned together.
I auditioned. Yes, so I had a big audition day where I was theatre in the morning, music in the afternoon.
I remember you whizzing all around.
I was whizzing around because I was like, if I don't get into theatre, I'll get into music. And then I remember doing my own song for my audition.
So did I.
Oh, that's probably what we
Yeah,
got.
yeah.
Because I was like, oh, literally, I realized the more things I do, if you just do original song, they go, oh, I'm so impressed. Here, win the competition. Here, but I forgot the words to my own song. I was so nervous. But it's funny to say that I actually forgot the words to my monologue in my theatre. So both of my auditions, fucking terrible. I got into both. I had to choose. So I chose theatre because I talked to my music teacher from back in... Actually, no, I talked to my theatre teacher from back in Kempsey, and he was like, well, you're already good at music.
Right.
So you should do theatre. And I think it was just him being like, do theatre.
Yeah,
We need more theatre.
teachers are like that.
Yeah, I should have talked about music as well. But, oh well. And I just did theatre. Did it for a year and a half. And I liked it. It was good. I think it helped me a lot, like, be confident. And also, like, I love story lines in music. So that helped. Finding characters when I do songs.
I
But,
noticed
yeah.
as well, you're a mover.
Yeah, yeah.
Like when
Sorry.
you perform, like your whole body performs. Is that something that might have come from theatre as well?
Yeah, I think it comes from when I'm moving it. It's like it's like every movement is part of this character that I'm creating in the song. Like it helps me. I think that the music I make needs to have like some story into it. So like it's like, oh, I'm this character, and then it makes me, I don't know. I can't even explain it, but I just feel good when I move around.
Yeah.
I think it does help. I think theatre helps me add an extra layer to my songs too, because if I'm going to perform it, I'm gonna get into it, you know. But with theatre, I liked it, but I had an interview on there's this thing that they call it when you go to theatre. It's like the exit interview, where they can decide, hey, you don't like this. You're not good enough, pretty much.
Yeah.
It's kind of fucked up, I think about it. It's like, you're not good enough. Here's other options for you. You need a university degree. And they said, you're great. You're fine. But we've just noticed that all the shows that you've done music for instead of you've done more music stuff for these productions and acting. Because in my first play at uni, I wrote the soundtrack for the song. It was like a live soundtrack. So I was on the piano. I don't know how to play piano. I just figured it out. I'm like a...
That's
I'm
just
musical
how
ear.
you do it, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
So I would watch them move around, and I'd play the piano in coordination, and then have like ideas of like the chord progressions, but then just fiddle around in that. And it was great. And I even made a theme for it. And then the second one, I wanted to do sound for it too. So after that, I did a little bit. I didn't really do anything crazy for the second one, but the first one was like intensely music based. Like I had one character, didn't give a fuck about that character. I mostly focused on the music for it. And so in the exit interview, my lecturer Janet was like, you should do music. So I was like, okay, only if I can do my major project. Because major project is like something you can do if you do a single subject all throughout it. And I said, I won't do it unless I can do a major project because I want to make like an album or do something like that. And she was like, yeah, easy. But then you got a paper trail. If someone says yes, you got a paper trail. Because when it came to finals, they were like, oh, no, you just got a couple classes left. And I said, no, I got my major. She's like, what are you talking about? And I said, oh, all right, well, I'm going to leave and go to a different university. And I threatened them until they gave me what I wanted. So
Funny, you baby.
It's uni SQ now, so it's different. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, that was a bit of a, I had something written down, like that was like a timetable, but it wasn't like actual writing that said, yes, we let you do this. So I had to go through 15 different people. And then by the time I got to the head of art department, they were like, you have a day to say yes to this agreement. Here's the agreement for your university. So I just said yes. And then I just, did it. And then COVID hit halfway through. And then my Mac updated, and never update your Mac. Turn updates off because it deleted everything on my Mac. All my Pro Tools like sessions were corrupt. It was like I had so many meltdowns during COVID because of it. And I remember I was talking to all my lecturers like, what do I do? And he's like, there's nothing we can do. You're gonna have to start again on a different platform or something. So I decided that was when I started doing GarageBand, because it was the only thing I could think of that was free on my laptop. And I kind of knew, since a kid, I've been fucking around with GarageBand. So that's when I started really learning how to use GarageBand, and it's pretty good. I actually really,
I feel like,
when I moved to something else, I'm like, this is too convoluted. I just need something simple and straightforward. GarageBand is so good. Then I realized,
you've
I'm
mastered.
Artists. Yeah,
you've mastered GarageBand.
Yeah, I was showing you my Human Flesh song, which is out. If you want to watch it, it's a music video, student film actually, with a rare squid, if you want to give it a go. But that song, I was like, that's the first time I wrote a song and produced it on GarageBand. I was like, fuck, this is really good. I really enjoy my sound in this, and it sounds professional. So give GarageBand a go if you're new.
Would you recommend, like, there might be people watching and listening who are looking to get into producing, but don't have all of the money that it costs to get like a Ableton or Pro Tools or all the time. Pro Tools is good. I use Pro Tools, but it is...
Yeah. I understand people that use it.
The thing about Pro Tools is it reflects a traditional analog studio. If you don't understand how that kind of studio is wired, the signal flow, then it takes a lot to learn it. You might have to do like a LinkedIn learning course or something to really wrap your head around it.
It's a lot of like, oh, what am I doing? Google it.
Yeah. Tutorials.
Oh my God. Just some dude overseas just explaining to you in a very shitty mic, like, this is how you...
But if you really want to understand like the real studio process of making music.
Yeah, Pro Tools is the one, yeah.
But like for something that people just want to get started in and experiment with, or even like you're making good stuff in GarageBand. Yeah,
I mean, there's even free ones online, but I think, I don't know, GarageBand is good, but not very compatible if you want to collaborate, because a lot of people don't use it.
Do you think that it's fairly intuitive?
Oh yeah, it's if you have an iPhone, jumping onto GarageBand is pretty like, oh, I get it. And then you just have to also, I think we are good because we did that course. We did a Pro Tools course at uni, which helped me understand like things to check for. Yeah. So if something's going wrong, what are the procedures to check how is the microphone connecting? Like, what's this, what's that? Because it's just a bunch of like making sure that I've remembered to do all the things. And then once you know the process, you can be like, what's happening? Something's wrong. Boom. Okay, that's what's wrong. It's not even GarageBand or Pro Tools. It's just knowing the procedures of how like audio stuff works. That's not like making sure that...
Gain staging.
Yeah, making sure that on your computer it's connected to the output or like...
iOS.
Yeah, that stuff. Because with GarageBand, once you've done that, it's pretty much ready for you to go. Like, it's so simple. Sometimes it's just different with Pro Tools and stuff. You have to do a couple more things. And most of my audios are mono, so I don't really give a fuck about...
Mono?
Like, you pop everything on a mono.
Yeah, but do you, like, master it out to stereo?
No.
What?
That's why it sounds so fucked.
Yeah. You're like
my
OG
process,
Beatles or something.
my process is fucking crazy. You don't want to see my saved files, but I twiddle with it until it sounds good.
I mean, whatever you're doing, it does sound good. So.
Listen, I don't want any professional person to look at my shit ever. That's all I'm saying. And if I collaborate with someone, it's there. I'm just the secondary.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. Listen, give it a go, but I'm definitely not the person to talk to about like professionalism with it. I definitely it's a good tool. One day.
But that's what I admire about you, because you're just so intuitive with what you do. Like your approach to music, you know, when we were in uni together, there was a decent focus on the theory, chord construction, transcription. We always had to make lead sheets and chord charts with like rhythmic elements notated and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I know that's something that in terms of putting it on paper, you would struggle with sometimes.
Yeah.
But you don't, like, for what you're doing as a musician, you don't need that.
Yeah.
Because you have this innate sense of just knowing what should sound good together, and like you make funky chords and patterns and progressions that just sound so good. And where I might have the ability to listen and notate and do all that kind of stuff, I will never have that innate musicality that just exists within you.
Yeah, it definitely has got me through. Oh my
Like
god!
before, when you're like, oh, I don't play piano, but I just jumped
fuck
on
around.
there.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm very on like ear. So if I hear a note, I can find it on the guitar,
you have
or
just
I can.
the ears for it. I
think I
don't
can't
have
even
that.
say that it's something like you can learn, because I don't know. People ask me like I've had a couple housemates be like, "Oh, can you teach me guitar? Teach me how to sing?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and then I'm like, I don't know how to explain that. I just can kind of do it.
Yeah, and you're so fearless with it. Like you'll just sit at a piano and
that's
away.
When I was a kid, my nan would lay up on a bed, and right next to the bed was the piano, and she had this old it's not a grand piano, but it's like a little church piano, and she just like, play me a song, Meg, and I didn't know any songs, so I just kind of ding 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 ding, and then that for like hours, and then we'd make little tunes.
So it's just always
it's
been
probably
the case.
It's just been something that I've always done. Yeah.
So impressive to me.
Thank you. It helps with the writing process too, because when I'm writing a song, I can immediately jump on the guitar or jump on even like, I don't play piano, but on the piano and nut out like a melody. And then making it complex, like I would go to people like our friend Dom, who is just an insanely talented
His theory knowledge
theory,
is
and he's like, oh,
insane.
we can add this minor and this major and this and make it so delicious, and I'm like, okay, but I've just given you like the 5 chords and then the lyrics, because that's what I love writing lyrics, and then he'll make it beautiful, like, and everything he does is in like collaboration with what the song's about and makes it sound so good. So I definitely need like someone like that always next to me when writing songs, but obviously you don't always have Dom at hand. I've only written one song with them actually, and it was CEO. Oh my god, I can't sing that one live.
So good. Though.
Thinking about it, it's so bad. I would love to release it one day. It's on my YouTube actually. You can check it out.
It's on my to-do list to remix it.
Oh
mix
really?
It again. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because we did oh my god, that was like a 10-hour. We recorded
day,
it.
maybe.
10 hour. It was like a 9-hour day.
Maybe, yeah. It was long.
It was for one of Britannia's major projects, and
way back in trimester 1.
Yeah.
Before I knew anything.
And we were like, let's just do it. And then it was 9 hours later, and we go, oh,
yeah.
whoopsies.
Yeah, and everything banjo, harmonica.
Yes, because we jumped on the harmonica. And I was like, let's just fucking
You're
go.
packing up around you, and you're just like going ham on
Yeah.
it.
That's the first. That was for I did a private show called Shut Up and Laugh, where I was like, I got offered this after I won. So I did this competition called Wing of the Cloud, and it was with a Karaoke 8 or Karaoke 9. This place called Karaoke 9 or Cloud 8. It's called Cloud 8
karaoke?
Cloud 8 karaoke.
Yeah.
It was a collaboration with them, and then when I won that competition. There was a guy there, and he was like, I run this Palace Lounge, and I would love you to come and play because we just need
In the
more.
Valley?
In the Valley. Yeah, it's no longer. Last time I walked past, it was being renovated, so
Oh, okay.
I don't think it exists anymore. Listen, I have a feeling that it was going under because they were just like reaching out to a bunch of random artists, like, hey, here's a free venue, sell drinks for us. And so I did a show, Shut Up and Laugh, and then I tried to do a second show, Shut Up and Laugh 2, which was Country Edition. So I collaborated with Dom and was it Music for Scene, Scene for Music, that's his handle. And we made a couple of country comedy songs because it was a comedy show. So that's when I performed. I hadn't written Flick Your Bean yet, but that was Date Your Mum. That was the one I wrote with my friend Billy Fogarty. And one with Evie Ford, we wrote a song about the red pill, if you know anything about that. Yes, that's one of my favorites I've ever written. It's very musical. It's like, you're mad at your genetics. It's pretty much making fun of incels, so which I'm always keen to do.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I just kind of showcased all my comedy songs because I was into comedy writing at the time, and I still am, but I think I'm trying to focus on.
So this is
more
like
acoustic
kind of an
stuff.
interesting point to tap into, though.
Yeah.
Were those shows a Megan show or a BB show?
That was a BB show. That was the first time BB had a spot. Like that was the
Right.
first time I was like, oh, BB, let's do BB for real and let's pop it
Yeah.
on posters and let's market myself as BB. I hadn't been BB yet. It was still Megan when I won the Wing of the
Competition.
Cloud competition.
So what inspired you to create an alter ego?
I think because I also do children's theatre.
Ah.
So Megan O'Brien is
Associated with that.
associated with Cheeky Monkey Club, is associated with other things I've done, like the Gumbunji, Jacaranda Festival, and I love doing children's work. So the songs that I create as Bee-Bee Riot are, sometimes, most of the time of late, the shows that I book of late have been comedy songs that are very rude and crude. Like I'm talking late night drag
Yeah.
shows where everyone's getting nasty.
And a lot of that's with Alt Brisbane.
Yeah. And that's kind of what alt's all about. Like,
Yeah, I
your
mean-
weird nasty shit that's delicious and tasty and so good.
So I guess it's just a matter of like creating a space in which you can focus on like mature content
Yeah.
and explore that side of your creativity, but keep Megan O'Brien fairly professional.
Yeah.
And
That being said, I have done a show once with Brisbane Pride. It was like an event that they do every year for
Musgrave Park?
Yeah, I think so. It was inside. No, it wasn't Musgrave Park. It probably was. It was inside the Brisbane City Hall.
Oh, okay.
Around
The
the
queer
side.
prom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, queer prom. I think, yeah, you literally know it better than me do. I do. I was asked because one of the performers had dropped out. And I forgot his last name, but he runs it, Harry. He was like, I need someone and I've had lots of recommendations about you.
Wow.
And I'm a bit of a fan. And I
Word
was
of
like,
mouth, huh?
stop. And so I did it, but I was under Bee-Bee Riot and it was a under 18 show.
Okay.
And I just did covers, and then I think I did Date Your Mum because that one isn't as rude and it's kind of funny. But that was the first time I'd kind of combined the two. So like but also it was a queer event, and I think some of my like the BB persona is not just like not safe for work. It's also just like what I've always wanted to be as a kid, like loud and proud about like sexuality and also just like who I am, taking up
Yeah.
space. And I think they kids in that formal were like, oh, like so like, yo, you're just so yourself. And
That's a powerful thing.
yeah, I think it was really one of the best shows I've ever done. And it was only like 40, not even a 40-minute show, like 30 minutes max. Actually, I think it was a 15-minute show, and I got like $350 for it. It was crazy.
Wow.
And a free dinner. Yeah, Brisbane Pride pays, which
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll do it again. If you want me back. But yeah, I felt like so good about it. Like after I got off stage, I felt like so invigorated, and the kids loved me. And as I walked out, they were like, "You're so amazing! Like, can I follow you on Instagram?" I'm like, if you want to, there is explicit content on there. I don't particularly want you to, but you know, I can't stop it. I'm still figuring out how to navigate that space of like being Bee-Bee Riot and then also having songs about flicking your bean, and I don't know. It's hard.
It is, especially when you have growth like yours that's so organic and these opportunities come to you and you're like a one-person show.
Yeah.
You don't have a team behind you or anyone who can kind of manage what event is appropriate for what kind of...
Yeah, because I think Bee-Bee Riot is just kind of like the alternate version of me, and it doesn't particularly... It's not automatically not safe for work, but I do have like... Yeah, comedy songs that are a bit rude. Kind of like Lonely Island vibe.
Yeah. Actually,
and it's like, well, as a kid, I love Lonely Island, so I would have been angry if someone stopped me from listening to that.
I think it's a really tough thing for adult creatives in general.
Yeah.
To be able to navigate, because it shouldn't really be your responsibility to filter what underage audiences do and don't see. As a creative, these spaces exist for you to make and distribute and share whatever you want, whatever that looks like. And the stuff you make might be a little crude or mature, but it's still art.
Yeah.
And it's still an expression.
Yeah.
Like, it's a tough dilemma to have, because ultimately it's not really your responsibility, but it's still a responsibility that exists.
Yeah. I think, since Pride, like the queer formal, I've been thinking, like, do I want to be less... Like, I'll still be myself, but, like, I kind of want to focus on songs that I needed. Like, I would have needed as a kid, or... So...
As long as what you're doing feels like it's...
Yeah, it's all... Like, I'll write comedy songs if I need to do a comedy song for a gig.
I think that's a really empowering kind of position to take, or direction to take your music in. To recognise...
I've always felt being honest is being like vulnerable has always been something that I struggle with. Like being like not just a loud bitch. That's my whole, like, I love being like the funny person.
Yeah.
But I do more, like, I think I posted recently, it was like this song I'd been thinking about posting for ages, and I'd been writing it for like a month, and I just kind of posted like an excerpt from it. And I was like, I got some really good responses from it, and people were like, this is really, really nice, and I need this. And so I was like, oh, I really like this feeling. I think I want to do more like that. So
that's so good.
Yeah.
But like, not all of your music is super introspective and deep and
no, not at all. If anything, most of my music is just like Veronica. It's pretty much just, do you want the origin of it?
Yeah, where does that kind of stuff come from?
Oh, I don't know. I just love rock and roll music.
Yeah.
Like,
you do a lot of AC/DC.
Yeah, like my whole life, my dad listened to Smashing Pumpkins, like AC/DC, even like
Tenacious D.
Tenacious D was huge when I was a kid. I even have a Tenacious D tattoo. I got the tickets to see Tenacious D. Yes. I'm so excited. I'm literally manifesting getting up on stage and manifesting.
Yes.
But yeah, Veronica is a song that I haven't posted, but we did at uni. I would love to record it. But pretty much just came to me because I love rock and roll, and I... My sister has a friend, and when she was younger, when we were in high school, she was very gothic, and I had a bit of a crush on her. So I was just thinking, but her name wasn't Veronica. But I love that name for like it was giving, what is it, the Hex Girls, Scooby-Doo vibe.
Oh yeah,
that's what I was thinking when I was writing it. So yeah, Veronica's just a person that exists, and she's a mafia boss, and she's also a goth, and I want to fuck her, and that's the song.
Such a good song. It's such a good song.
That's the whole thing.
It's
and
so
if your song is like cool enough, you don't even have to add more context. You can just be like, she wants to dominate me, and people are like, oh yes, that song is so real. And you didn't think too hard on it. So I think if you have a good concept, that it'll carry through.
I guess like tapping into the storytelling.
Yeah,
and,
that's my
and that kind of leads pretty naturally to something I'm a bit interested in hearing about as well, which is your collaboration on Jack Sharp.
Oh yeah?
That
Yeah.
opening song.
So Jack Sharp and the Curse of the Forbidden Fruit is a show that Fake Blood at Instagram, they're a production company, and my housemate is one of the people that are in the production and did write it, Jacob Evan Delaney. And he approached me and he was like, I would love a song for it. I love a theme, because it was all about it's hard to explain this show because it's...
I feel like it had an underlying theme
Oh.
of misogyny in film.
Yeah, pretty much taking all... He watched over, I think, 300 venture movies from all across, from like, I'm talking like 1909.
Yeah.
From like today.
100
like
years.
Casino Royale and all that sort of stuff. Adventure movies like... Yeah,
Indiana
Lost the
Jones?
Forbidden... Yeah, there was very much a theme of Indiana
Yeah.
Jones in it. But looking at the misogyny from then to there, and things have changed, but not enough. Like, and he's
was
like
very,
but
very
also
well done.
with a love of movies as well. Like, there's a level of like, these movies are really, really awesome, and they can show a lot about movies, but they don't show a lot about women.
They
And
walked the line
yeah.
perfectly in that production.
Hell yeah, he'd love to hear that.
It was phenomenal.
I think, yeah. But what he basically did was come to me. He's like, okay, here's a bunch of movies. I would love to do a song similar to, what's that? Rocky Horror Picture Shows. And if the world was born. Oh, you know that song? It's like, what is it? Born in a miracle chance.
Yeah.
The first song that happens with the lips.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, cool. And he gave me a bunch of, like, he'd written a couple of things. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so he would give me a movie, and then we'd rhyme something with that movie. And then we pretty much got to this moment of being like, it began without sound or colour. Arthur Conan Doyle started it all. And it starts from movies from Arthur Conan Doyle, from the first ever movie created, to my favourite part of the song, where it's like, stories and toys, Matrix glitches, Fury Road, and Giant Peaches, Volta Ray, Hercules, Arc Reactors. And it's just a bunch of movies. And it was kind of like a love song that me and him wrote, mostly for him because he loves movies so much. And then it was just a really fun experience, like, making a song that was like it was giving Bare Naked Ladies,
Yeah.
like a bunch of like just random things, chicken a Chinese chicken, like doing stuff like that. Like,
Was that the first time you'd been given a very specific brief to write to?
yeah, I think so.
I think you nailed it though.
Oh no, wait.
Wait.
In uni, I was asked by Scott Alterdice, who was a theatre, after I'd switched over to music, they did a production of Macbeth, and they had Double Toil and Trouble. They wanted a song,
Yeah.
like a different version. So I created a song that was like a rap. And maybe it's cringe, but I really enjoyed it. And I remember that was when I got into like mixing sound effects, like like mixing like stormy effects, and that was fun. But no, Jack Sharp was maybe second. I've had a specific, but I think Jack Sharp to me was more like, oh, this is something outside of uni. This is an actual show that I think can go places and definitely will go places.
It's had a second run.
Yeah, and at Backbone,
Yeah.
it was I think the second most booked out show of Backbone.
Wow. It was absolutely worth it.
Yeah,
I'm so
voted
glad
for it for
you invited me to come and see it.
Yay! I'm excited that you came. I was like, I had some free tickets because I just had a bunch and I didn't really know who to invite, but I was like, you should come,
Well,
and you did.
you have a music video out.
Yeah, it came out 21st of March. It's a student project with Paddy Long. He is the kind of producer. He kind of helped the kids produce it. Kids. It was a McGregor school class, so 18 to a certain amount. But
Young
it was
people.
when I was
Young
there,
creatives.
quite young. And they kind of gave me all of the stuff. So I gave them the song. We had like a Zoom interview where I was like, hi guys. And they all introduced me to themselves, and they showed me the costuming, and I was like, cool. I pretty much gave it to all of them. It's my song Human Flesh that I wrote for Halloween. And they kind of just took it and they made a little story. It's definitely the coolest I've ever looked on film. Like,
Yeah, it
seeing
looks
myself
so
on the
good.
really professional cameras is kind of like, oh, whoa. I don't even mind my double chin anymore because I look so good. But
The
yeah, that's out on
outfits, like,
YouTube.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I bought a couple of options. Like this is my classic BB top. I wear a lot at shows, so I bought that along and they incorporated that. And then I have like a bunch of bones and I'm playing on the drums, and it was so much fun. It was actually so cool. And I can't wait to do more stuff with Patty.
Everyone go and watch it. It's on YouTube.
Yeah, it's on my YouTube. At Meg. Oh God, at Bee-Bee Riot. You know what? I'll make a brand new one.
And you know what? Is it linked on your Instagram?
It would definitely be linked on my Instagram and
Yeah,
my
where can people
Facebook.
follow you?
They can follow me at Bee-Bee Riot on Instagram.
B-E-E.
Beeriot. I should write a song because
You
it's
should,
like
yeah.
Beeriot. It feels like it needs to be like a K-pop song.
Yeah. That'd be cute.
Bee-Bee Riot on all platforms. Sometimes I think on Facebook it's lowercase BB, like BEE, but most places it's capitalized all the way through. So it's exciting.
And people can see any gigs that...
Yeah, all on my Instagram. I'm primarily on Instagram. That's kind of... I try to post some. I'm trying to do more on TikTok, but Instagram's my...
That's the place to
butter.
go.
Yeah. It's how I get like people to come to my shows. But also, I don't know.
Well, you have been holding on to your little guitar. What do you say you give us a little something something?
Okay, I'll give it a little something.
Let's hear some Bee-Bee Riot.
Oh, God. Oh, God. You're about to hear Veronica, and I don't think you're ready. Let's go! She's got the widow's peak. She's got them crystal eyes. She lets her demons speak. She's got a fire that she doesn't hide. She's got the right hook and killer backhand. And she's got those iron men. They know when not to go back to her. Reputation is insane, but I don't know, her dominant role has got something desired. Veronica, she's so untouchable, but yet I still be lusting over Veronica, but she's the devil's daughter. I think I'll risk it all. I'll put my life on the line. I think I'll enter now. The gates of hell. 1, 2, 3, she's so acceptable. And yeah, I'm a lesson over Veronica, but she's she's so untouchable, but yeah, I still be lesson over Veronica, but she's Veronica, but she's a This next song is a song called Oblivious, and it's a bit more vulnerable. Are you ready? I feel stupid when I'm happy, self-conscious when I'm sad, and oh how I wish that genuineness was just a passing fad. When I wake up, just past midday, with my eyes below my chin, is it worth the fuss of getting up to make my day begin? To make my day, to laugh and win. I long to be emotionally oblivious, to make my day. Sounds cringe. Whoa, I long to be emotionally oblivious. I've got sensors in my shoulders, I've got radars in my eyes, and oh how I hope that nobody's home to trip another wire. When I get lost in the city and my phone's at 1%, I can feel the rush to just give up. I'm overwhelmed again. I'm overwhelmed. I'm doom scrolling. I long to be emotionally oblivious. I'm overwhelmed. Not again. I long to be emotionally oblivious. Emotionally. I do too much, and everything I say too much, and everyone I know, they hate my guts. Oh, and everything I do too much, and everything I say too much, and everyone I know, they hate my guts. They hate my guts. I hate my guts. To make my day, to laugh and weep. Oh, I long to be emotionally oblivious, to make my day. Sounds cringe. Whoa. I long to be completely in love with myself. Completely in love with myself.